Hey everyone, I want to talk about something you've probably heard 1,000 times. Passive income. You've seen the ads, the gurus, the promises of making money while you sleep. Well, I'm here to tell you that for most people, passive income, in the way it's sold to us, is a lie. And I want to tell you a story about a friend of mine. Let's call him Damien to show you what I mean. Damien was just like many of us. He had a decent 9 to 5 job, but he was tired. Tired of the routine, tired of trading his time for money, and tired of feeling like he wasn't getting ahead. He dreamed of financial freedom, of having more time for his family and his hobbies. So he dived headfirst into the world of passive income. He started with what everyone says is the easiest entry point: affiliate marketing. He built a blog about his passion, which was hiking. He spent hours writing detailed articles, reviewing gear, and sharing his favorite trails. He meticulously placed affiliate links, dreaming of the commissions rolling in. For the first few months, the only sound he heard was crickets. He made a total of $5. Not exactly the dream he was sold. He realized his blog needed traffic, which meant learning SEO, building a social media presence, and constantly creating new content. It felt less like passive income and more like a second unpaid job. Disappointed but not defeated, Damien tried another popular route: print on demand. He was a creative guy, so he designed some cool t-shirts with witty hiking slogans. He set up an online store, uploaded his designs, and waited for the sales to pour in. A few sales trickled in, mostly from friends and family. But to get real customers, he had to run ads. He spent hours learning Facebook and Instagram advertising, tweaking his campaigns, and analyzing data. He spent hundreds of dollars on ads just to make a few dozen in profit. He was constantly checking his ad performance, updating designs, and dealing with customer service questions. Again, where was the passive part? Next, Damien thought, okay, maybe digital products are the way to go. He poured all his hiking knowledge into an ebook, The Ultimate Guide to Beginner Hiking. He spent weeks writing, editing, and designing it. He put it up for sale on his website. But selling an ebook wasn't as simple as just publishing it. He had to build an email list, create a sales funnel, and market it relentlessly. He was working more hours than he did at his full-time job. He was exhausted, stressed, and further away from his goal than ever. His dream of a passive income stream had turned into an active nightmare of endless tasks. This is the point where most people give up. They conclude that it's all a scam, that making money online is impossible for the average person. But Damien did something different. He took a step back and had a moment of clarity. He realized the problem wasn't the business models themselves. The problem was the myth of passive. Nothing is truly passive, especially at the beginning. Everything requires a massive amount of upfront work, an investment of time, effort, and often money. He had been chasing a fantasy. So he changed his mindset. Instead of chasing passive income, he started focusing on building leveraged income. What's leveraged income? It's where you do the work once, and it continues to pay you over and over again with minimal ongoing effort. The initial effort is active, very active, but the income it generates over time becomes more and more detached from the hours you put in. With this new perspective, Damien looked at his projects differently. He didn't abandon his blog. Instead, he decided to focus on creating high-quality, evergreen content. These were articles that would be relevant for years to come. He spent 6 months creating a comprehensive library of content that people would always be searching for. He mastered SEO, not to get quick traffic, but to build a long-term foundation. He also revisited his ebook. Instead of just trying to sell it, he used it as a tool to build a community. He started a small online group for people who bought his book. In this group, he shared extra tips, answered questions, and fostered a real connection. He wasn't just a faceless seller anymore. He was a trusted guide. The first year of this new approach was still a grind. He was still working hard, but now he was working smart. He was building systems. He automated his email sequences. He scheduled his social media posts in batches. He was creating assets that worked for him, instead of creating more work for himself. Slowly but surely, things started to change. His blog traffic grew steadily. The affiliate commissions started to come in, not as a flood, but as a consistent growing stream. His ebook sales became more regular because his community members were recommending it to their friends. His print-on-demand store started making consistent sales without him touching it for weeks at a time, because his blog was now driving organic traffic to it. After about 2 years of this focused strategic work, Damien finally started to experience what he had originally dreamed of. He would wake up in the morning and see that he had made sales while he was sleeping. He could take a week off to go on a real hiking trip without his income dropping to zero. It wasn't a magic button. It was the result of years of dedicated, active work up front. The income wasn't completely passive. He still spent a few hours a week maintaining his systems, but it was leveraged. So what's the lesson from Damien's story? The first step is to forget the myth of easy, overnight passive income. It sets you up for disappointment and failure. Instead, embrace the idea of building leveraged income streams. Second, pick one thing and go deep. Don't be like the early Damien, jumping from one shiny object to the next. Whether it's blogging, YouTube, digital products, or something else, commit to mastering it. Expect it to be hard. Expect it to feel like a full-time job at the beginning, because it is. Third, focus on building systems and assets, not just on completing tasks. An asset is something that has long-term value, like a well-optimized blog post or an automated email funnel. A task is just something you do once. The goal is to build assets that work for you 24/7. And finally, be patient. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Damien's journey took years. It's easy to get discouraged when you see others posting about their overnight success. But you never see the years of struggle and failure that came before it. True financial freedom is not about getting rich quick. It's about building something sustainable, something real. It is about putting in the hard work now so that you can have more freedom and flexibility later. So if you're feeling like Damien did, tired and chasing a dream that feels out of reach, I want you to shift your perspective. Stop searching for passive income and start building leveraged income. It's not as sexy. It won't get you a million clicks, but it's the truth. It's the real path to creating a life where your income isn't directly tied to the hours you work. It's hard, but it's absolutely possible. Thanks for listening to my thoughts on this. I hope Damien's story gave you a more realistic and hopeful way to look at building an online business. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more realistic talk about making a living online. See you in the next one.